So we are at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. Fielded about a yard deep. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Getting set to go again on offense, we get a peek at Julio Jones now. And I think we both agreed he could have a really good game with this matchup, but over 200 yards now.
I don't think we saw it as that good, and I think what really makes it special is when games like this are occurring, it's not just getting locked in and in the zone and on a roll. It's continuing to adjust throughout the game because, you know, the defense is kicking coverages towards him, trying their best to slow him down, and he keeps getting the better of them.
Yeah, whatever they've done, it hasn't worked. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. Now Ryan on second down. He's going to air one out. Oh, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
Play action. It's Ryan. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I wonder, Brandon, I just wonder, you think maybe he was worried about where he was on the field? Was he far enough? Was he close enough to the first down sticks?
Absolutely. He was right there by him, and I think he was thinking first down before he caught that football.
Yeah, got to catch it first, because if you don't catch it, there's no chance of picking up a first down.
Hey. Go.
Fourth down. Here's Ryan. And that is going to be incomplete. There defensively was Buster screen to knock it away. Well, their first fourth down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any fourth down stop is a big momentum play.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground incomplete.
Now Jones, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost two there, and it's third down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Ready. Blue ready.
On third down, Winston. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw, trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23. Yard line. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. Now, this defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. And that is incomplete. He was looking for Zach Miller as tight end there. And it's third and short.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum Big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. They'll try and run for it with Smith. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
Give them a lot of credit. They ended up running the ball on a key third down situation. They were staring 3 and out in the face and found a way to flip the script and keep the ball moving on offense.
They keep it with Smith on first down. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
To throw on second down. Ryan getting it out left side to Sanu. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And these numbers on our monitor are getting hard to believe. He's closing in now right on the doorstep of 500 yards passing.
I'm glad that you watched the monitor and said it first because I had trouble absorbing that. That's big time right there, right? That means everything just about has gone right for them and his squad in this game. Let's see if they can keep it up.
No gain on the play there. Second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now it's Ryan. Connects with Sanu right side. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And this is complete. It's Allen. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 23 yards on the play.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Try to punch it in with Smith. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brandon, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we've just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Giving up a lot of points in this game, but look better on that play. He's going to get it running right. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Ito Smith, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons add on.
Offensive line coaches always tell their guys, if we score touchdowns, that means we got to the end zone first. That's exactly what those blockers did, clearing the way for their back.
Bryant's extra point up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Bucs now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
He sets up the screen to Jones. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's third down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, Everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
This is Jones, and he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Play fake. Winston. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Getting set to go again on offense. We get a peek at Julio Jones now. A monster game so far. Third quarter, he is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers, though?
Absolutely.
Who find ways to get open, whether they uncover late in a route or they get open early, but they just always find a way. And he's having that type of a game.
Yeah, he's been nearly impossible to cover.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about...
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, but here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game, and if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit, try it that way.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. He's got Evans. He got 29 yards that time. Winston now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Ready. Blue waiting.
Off the play fake. Winston. And he's going to be taken down. Back around the 35-yard line. Tack McKinley in there to drop him. And it'll be a loss of about 8.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And the pressure gets to him again. Avery Jones in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks.
This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A big gain of 31 on third down. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Wasn't that long ago that the NFL guys really didn't adopt much from the college game, but one thing that has crept in there is spreading things out, opening things up, not even just in tempo, but maybe getting better line splits.
Back now in Atlanta, and this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter, a very one-sided affair.
Ready, blue ready.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Vinny Curry in there to record another sack, their 6th of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And his kick is good. Didn't hit it all that well, but he got enough on it to put it through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And a great return. Solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Bryant will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll start on the ground. It's Ito Smith. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. Ready, blue ready. 58 to Mike. We go. Got nothing. We go.
They'll run it again with Smith. Twisting away. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Ready. Back 25. Ready to go.
Ryan now to throw on 3rd down. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration.
And yes, everyone, that was the fullback carrying the football. I know it's a dying breed, it's a dying position for a lot of people, but I still think it's valuable and important, especially one who can carry the ball.
And you need short yardage. What makes sense? Go to a big body, let him plow forward just like he did there.
It's still a big man's game.
A 1st down carry for Smith. Got some real estate inside the 30. Look at the spin.
Balance.
A big run there. 29 yards and a 1st.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now Ryan on 1st down. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Calvin Ridley with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Falcons continue to pour it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Well, right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
First down, Winston. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. On second down, Winston again. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
And that incompletion was caused by the defense. I think they were trying to get one into the middle of the field, trying to find a receiver there. But they were in zone defense. And what are the advantages of being in zone? Eyes and reaction. Eyes meaning all eyes are on the quarterback and able to react when he throws the football and rally to that spot. And that's exactly what happened there. Able to get there and knock it away.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2000...
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Ito Smith with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Falcons add on. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Vic Beasley in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Here's Winston. Evans has it left side. He got 29 yards that time. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Ready. Blue lady.
A first down throw for Winston. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out.
And Jameis intercepted a third time. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They begin with a run by Smith, and some room to work. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Tackle made there by Robert Alford.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. On second down, here's Smith. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy that's probably using his top runs to great advantage in this game.
He is in his zone. Dive play, Kuhn. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering whether they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
A handoff to Smith. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The Falcons on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Ready, blue 80, wide, 25 tonight.
Again, it's Smith. And some strong running. Refusing to go down. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. He needed 2. He got 1. And that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And no move by Dan Quinn to get the offense off the field. They're staying out there, and they're going for it on 4th.
Ready, blue 80. Five down, stand up big. Hey, 81 right there, he's sneaky. Check that guy.
Gives it to the fullback. This is Kuhn. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. So the decision to go for it turns out to be a good one. They get a couple of yards, and as a result, the drive keeps moving. It's now 1st and goal.
Hey, let's go. Four down. Sit down. Ready. Back 25. That's 95. 25. Sit down. Ready, sit down. Like 51. Ready, sit down.
The give to the fullback on the dive. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. They give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
And there's the pickup you want on 1st down. All offenses say, you get me 4 on 1st down, we'll take it. How about if you get 5? They'll really be happy.
2nd and goal from the 1.
Ready to go. Blue 80. Stand up there. Let go. Right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Good track. Get up.
He'll get it up the middle. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. They hold him again, and now all of a sudden it's 3rd and goal at the 1.
And there's the head linesman right on it to spot him short of the goal line. They gave it to the fullback there, trying to let him just ram his way across. But things are going to get interesting now on 3rd and goal.
I got you.
They turn to Kuhn on 3rd and short, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Sunday.
2nd down, Winston. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Ready. Blue 80.
Working out of the gun, Winston. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. And it's taken in at the 9. And a little spin cycle. Room to run now. A great return there. Bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner, and just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages.
Hey, wait. Ready, Lock 25. Watch out. Let go. Let go. Lock 25, sit on. Ready, blue 80. Let him go.
On the give, this is their fullback. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
Here's a give to Smith. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. There to stop him on the tackle, Jack Sitchie. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Atlanta, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season.